Hey guys, so initially this was supposed to be a Korrasami video this week. It was supposed to be this speed paint I did in Photoshop, but what happened was that I forgot to screen record a certain portion of it because I stopped the recording after I'd finished this animation that you're watching right now so that I could have a separate clip when I recorded the rest of Korrasami. And I forgot to record, but luckily since I was live streaming, Twitch saved the video, and so I had to rip the video, but I went to edit it tonight and it turns out that video file doesn't work in Premiere, so I had to try to convert it, and it's been converting forever, so there's no way I can get that Korrasami video up for Friday, so I pulled this out as a backup video, which is why I recorded it in the first place. I was like, oh, if I ever need to use this video, I can. And it also works out because a couple weekends from now, I'm going to be going to my friend's, it's actually the weekend after this coming weekend. It's my friend's bachelorette party and I'll be out of town. And so the Friday following that, I was worried I wouldn't have a video to post, but now that everything's getting pushed back a week, it works out. So, yeah. So I'm in this mad dash. My brain is a little crazy right now, so I hope this voiceover isn't too weird or anything. I've been preparing like mad for this convention because I've been working on artwork for the last couple months for this convention, and now I'm working on getting the merchandise prepped. So I've had to do things like I got my prints in, I had to do some of the printing myself. I've been bagging the prints, and there's also stickers, there's sketchbooks, and I've been making buttons. And today I went so hard on this last little kick to make more button art. And so I did that for a good chunk of the day, and then I've been pressing buttons like mad, and it's late at night and I don't have all my buttons pressed, so I'm gonna have to bring the button press to the convention. But I thought, like that, it gives me something to do at the table, so that's not too bad. It's just that my button press is really heavy, so bringing that to the convention just adds a lot of weight. But it's like that kind of sigh of relief. All I have to do now is pack up all my stuff into a suitcase, and then I can go to the convention tomorrow and wake up early and set up, and it's a 3-day thing, so I'm really excited. And the convention is Northwest Fan Fest. I've mentioned that in the past. I didn't get into any other artist alleys because I applied too late. Need to be more on top of that next time. Plus, the one convention I thought didn't exist anymore, and it turns out it does exist, so whatever. I will be at this summer night festival thing at SFU on June 27th, but that's just a one evening thing. That's not a big 3-day convention like what I'm doing right now. And I'm really bummed I didn't get into Anime Revolution. I was waiting for them to announce that Artist Alley applications were open, and I never saw anything. And then I saw a message for them saying that Artist Alley registration's closed, and I was like, oh, okay, thanks. Maybe I just wasn't paying enough attention, I don't know. So that's been what's been on my mind is convention stuff, and it's been making me crazy. I've been staying up ridiculously late every night. I haven't been eating as much because I've just been so focused and working so hard. It's just insane on me. So anyway, let's talk about the animation a little bit now. So this is one of the intros for Daily Bumps. I've done a couple videos about this type of thing already. And so this is just a clip they can insert towards the end of the intro, because the way the intros work is it introduces each character, and so there's different sets of animations for each character, and they're interchanged, and then there's always a group shot. And so this is one of the group shots, and it's to be used for when they fly anywhere. They can use that in the intro. And so I was in a mad rush to get this done because Brian had requested it the night before. Because initially I was going to do a karma animation, and then he's like, actually, can you do like a group shot airplane thing? And I wanted to get it to him by 9 p.m. at the latest so that when he edited that night, he could put it in the vlog. So I was live streaming, which is why you see me in the corner. And there's actually a second monitor I have that has the network open. It would have flashed by a couple times. I don't know if you noticed it. It's a window with a bunch of rectangular boxes that are blue and green, and then it's like there's strings attaching them. That's where I do most of my selection and everything, but it's on a separate monitor so you don't see it. But yeah, so it's an airplane scene. I drew some seats and then I duplicated them, and I didn't have time to really populate the airplane, so it's mostly empty except for one girl who sits beside Brian on the other side. I just took the Missy rig and tweaked it. I changed the colors, I made the hair shorter, but it took quite a while to tweak it, and so I didn't have time to add more people because I would have liked to add a few more. But at the same time, if I added too many, it would have just been maybe a little too crowded looking and would take the focus off the characters. So I was like, well, maybe it was for the best in the end. And this one was kind of like 2 shots in one. I should have done 2 separate files, but I was convinced myself I wanted to do it in one Toon Boom file. So they're in the airplane and the camera pulls out a little and then it fades into this shot of the outside of the airplane. And a fun fact is that the footage of the clouds is a video Brian actually took from the airplane that day. So when they were flying to Portland, he took that video footage himself and then sent it to me and I put it in the animation. So I think that's a really cool and unique touch. It's not just some stock image background, it was actually footage he took. And then the cloud in the foreground was like a stock image from wherever. I don't know where he got it. Brian gave it to me. And so I put that cloud in the front, in the foreground, to add some parallax and just have a foreground element and everything. So yeah, I really like this one. So I don't know, it's cool, it's cute, and I just like how it turned out. So what else can I say about it? I'm animating in Toon Boom. I probably will never do Toon Boom tutorials. I'm just telling people now. So there's already some good tutorials out there, and actually Toon Boom, like the company, puts out tutorials that are really good. That's where I go when I need help, is I look at the video tutorials that they supply. And so, yeah. And I use this instead of Flash simply because I've never learned Flash. I learned Toon Boom a little bit in school, and so that is what I use. Oh, here's me making that second Missy. Some people said it looked kind of like Cassie, which is funny. So, yeah. And it took a while to color it in because I didn't, when I made these rigs, I tend to use the brush like a Photoshop paintbrush instead of doing clean vector type, like where each line is one single line. I sometimes get a little painterly when I'm fixing things up, and so when you try to use the paint bucket tool to fill in an area of color, there's little extra paint strokes that don't get colored in because I was messy when I made it. I also had a lot of rendering issues with this. I cut most of it out because it's boring to watch, but the second half of the animation would not render, like the airplane part, and it was frustrating me so bad. And finally I realized it's because I made multiple composites and forgot to hook up one of the composites to the display node, or the right node. It was connected to the display node, which is why it displayed, but it wasn't connected to the right node, which is why it would not write to the file. And so here is the final thingy, 2 versions of it. One pregnant, one not pregnant. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Up one of my drawers, which is flipped upside down to act like a little table, and just bagging prints. I got all the Patreon on one side. I bagged all the convention ones except Raichu so far. I'm getting them in my little sleeve doohickey. I've got Korra's printing. I've got 12 done out of 20, so that's cool. And what else is new? I don't know. I'm watching Orange is the New Black. I said I was going to watch Steven Universe, but maybe later or maybe tomorrow. And I don't know if I'm going to get to